So
Your your curtain's hanging down a little bit, but I didn't know if that was what you wanted or not.
say what?
Your blue background, your blue blanket. But
Yeah.
I can see your wonderful TV area behind you.
I'm not particularly worried about that.
Okay, just trying to get that, you know.
I'm glad you can see me though. That's great. Uh,
Analysis to paralysis. I've thought about turning my video on, but Maggie's here, and if Justin came in and saw it was on, he might throw a hissy. So I don't want a problem in the middle of a video.
I understand, not a problem. Well,
Yeah.
I lost my train of thought. Oh, yes.
Okay.
Okay. So the reason that I wanted to get this recording on right away is because I want to make sure I point out something to you that has been extremely powerful for me in the past. And in fact, let me see. Oh, that was the other thing I was going to say. You know, I know that I've been having trouble doing some of my Zooms here where all of a sudden the connection becomes unstable and all of a sudden it keeps dropping off. And that may happen again today. I don't know. But I'm actually afraid there may be something going on with the computer and maybe not as much with some of the connections. Because last night, I tried 3 different internet connections and I could not get the computer on any of them. So, so that's it's like, okay, saying a prayer over all this here today and hoping we
Okay,
can
that brings up our thing we've been talking about here is getting all new computers.
Well, this one's only a year old, so it better not be going bye-bye on me.
Well, you never know on these things.
Well, and because of all the changes that are going on with the implementation of 5G everywhere, I don't know how that's going to mess with all of our electronics. I know it's going to mess with our brains and our bodies.
It already is. It already is.
Yep, exactly. So
Yeah.
Fred has
and with
been
those polar shifts aren't helping anything.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. Well, I'm going to go ahead and see if I can screen share. And let's see where we go here. There we go. Okay, so let's see. I just sent you guys a link to this. It's all in your Skypes, and absolutely this event has done huge shifts for me every year that I've paid some attention to it. And you know, the beauty is that they do it for free, so that every day of this Tapping World Summit for 24 hours you can have access to these actual hands-on tappings that are helping to address specific issues in our body, mind, and spirit. And it was one of these tapping solution videos that helped me with my weight loss journey last year. It definitely helped to click some of that motivation in place that I deserved to release that weight. I was ready to release that weight, and boom, I released it. So, you know, I've used this Tapping World Summit before in the past. It is absolutely worth your time. Each day they release a new day's worth, and it's only available for 24 hours. If people wanted to have access to all of these videos at the end of the summit, you actually have to pay for them. And they're usually not ridiculously priced, but I just trust when I kind of set my intention on an event like this that I'm going to catch the ones that I need to catch. And you know, and I don't worry about the rest of it. But like right now, you know, today's sessions are all about our internal beliefs that we're not good enough. And you know, I just kind of I use the figure 8 testing to determine if there is one of these that I should listen to, because they're about an hour long, but they're really good. And so here, you know, until 8 p.m. this evening, these 3 videos are available for free. From self-loathing to self-love, clearing the internal belief that you're not good enough. this is a core belief that way too many people on the planet have. It comes from different places. It comes from everything from generational curses to a parent that might have been overly scolding us when we were young, whatever. But many, and I'm going to say even maybe most of us on the planet are dealing with some of this stuff. So, you know, that's one. This one is the one that I did today. And I'm telling you, I definitely felt some emotional shift as a result of going through this. Ignite your deserving energy, how to tap into the power of your heart chakra and allow self-forgiveness and true feelings of self-worth. That's, you know, self-forgiveness has been an issue for me for a very long time. And I'm going to tell you, again, I felt some definite shifts in energy when I did that. And then here's a shorter one: release the fear of criticism and create the courage to shine. So, you know, these today are available till 8 p.m. And then at 8 p.m. tonight, there's another new batch of 3 that are going to be available for 24 hours. I already feel like I need to be involved in one of those. Here you go. This is today's bonus. This is probably the video that I watched last year. So if there's anybody you know who's interested in the weight loss, is interested in, you know, maybe they've gone into the Better Health Challenge, but they've been struggling with the weight loss, this is an outstanding video, the key to unlocking your weight loss struggle. So that I can highly recommend that one for sure. And then at 8 p.m. today, I've already decided there's one of these I need to listen to. So, you know, it's the first one's rewriting the rules, how to release and rewrite the beliefs that are holding you back. This one is mine. I know this. I have to listen to this one between now and 8 p.m. tomorrow night. Finding your voice, how to feel safe speaking up and being yourself by healing your throat chakra. So today I was focused on the heart chakra, and then later it'll be the throat chakra. And understand that makes perfect sense for me, because everything about this whole idea of living your song is being able to speak from the heart, communicate from the heart. So it's all about your heart and being able to speak and be heard, which is all what the energy in your throat chakra is all about. So, you know, it's an 11-day event, and they're only on day 2 right now with these things. So I can't recommend enough that you at least go each day and use your little figure 8 muscle testing and see if there's one or more of these videos that would be helpful to you. Because during the videos, they take you through an actual tapping session where you're doing all the tappings, and they tell you exactly what to say out loud to yourself as you're going through those tappings. And, you know, I know that this team will see some profound shifts occur if you'll just pay attention to this Tapping Solutions Summit and allow yourself to benefit from it over the next 11 days. I didn't even realize it was 11 days. I think the first one they did was like 6 or 7 days, but they've shifted into a broader range of things they're doing, different issues that they're addressing. They've got more and more guest speakers who are coming every day and doing this. And it's just phenomenal. The fact that we have access to this kind of free healing is absolutely phenomenal. Please, I beg of you to take advantage of it. You will see differences, no doubt in my mind. Anybody got any questions or comments about that before we move on?
Wow. right on target. I am just so delighted to see you going forward with this tapping solution and letting people know about it. I think the thing that I would like to hone in on is rewrite your self-talk to edit out the lies in beliefs.
Yes.
And take the words belief and write it down and circle the middle letters LIE. So in your beliefs are many lies that you need to identify and edit out, and then use the tapping to help you with making those transitions from the lies to accept the truth, accept the love, the self-love, and the golden rule.
Yes.
So you've got to learn how to use the skill of replacement. Remember that your subconscious, does not like giving up anything. It does not like to lose anything. So don't lose it.
That's
just
right.
give it up and replace it with something gloriously wonderful.
That's it completely. And that was a lot of what today's stuff was about too. And in fact, the one that I went through, she first had you tapping on the negative side of your self-talk. So it was okay to verbalize that stuff and bring it to the surface again. And as you're tapping through it, it's just like some of the things that Edna does, except with Edna, we're hitting on the spine to shake that stuff loose and get it to go. And with this, it's just those tapping points, which they're very clear about all the time. They remind you, tap here, tap here, tap here, and they tell you what to say. So the first part this woman took you through was allowing that negative self-talk and tapping your way through it. But then the second part of it was, now you're bringing in the compassion. Now you're bringing in the self-love. Now you're bringing in the ability to allow that heart to become more open and for more compassion to flow to yourself as well to others. So yes, that's exactly what this is all about, and I can't recommend it enough. These guys are awesome.
As you were talking, that reminded me of Mark Januski's, when he works with us in the Master Key Solutions. He talks about the guy and the gal in the mirror system, is to look in the mirror and look into your own eyes as you do this tapping, as you do this work.
Yes.
As
yes.
you talk, is, you are talking. That's the best way to communicate with the self-talk. And I find that it does work.
Absolutely, because the eyes are the windows to the soul. So yeah, you're making a direct connection at that point in time. So anyway, enough said. I did put this link in each of your Skype, so you've got access to be able to get to it. Go use it. Free tools, man. We can't not pay attention to those kinds of things. So,
and this is so powerful for us here personally, right here in Southern Indiana, with what we're working with, is because we are dealing with so many mental dysfunctions.
Everybody is.
Yes, and we took in 6 this week.
Oh, wow.
That we're dealing with. So,
Wow.
This is a powerful opportunity for self-correcting and helping and showing that it does work. That
Absolutely.
We do have an addiction zapper program. The addiction zapper works every time.
That's awesome. Well, and I'm sure this is a great complementary tool to use with something like that. I remember Don and I one day were in a facility that was it was being created. In fact, it kind of reminds me of some of the things I've heard you talk about. It was being created as something they were calling a clubhouse, but it was all for people who were in different stages of mental health recovery. And so some of them, had come out of prison, some had been dealing with drug addiction, some with, the schizophrenias and the bipolar and all that kind of stuff. But they were all in this room, and something just hit my brain to take them through a tapping session. And for whatever reason, there was something that just told me to help them focus on the loss of a loved one. And I think it was because they had lost a member just recently in the clubhouse. And so I told them it didn't matter whether they wanted to focus on that member or whether there was maybe a family loss. I just asked them to focus on their feelings towards the loss of a loved one of some sort. And I said, and this is not about getting to a place of forgetting your loved one. It's just about getting to a place of helping you to be able to think about them without having excessive amounts of stress as you're thinking about them. And they all kind of perked up as I was talking about that. I took them through this basic tapping and just had them, thinking about that loved one, thinking about the good times they had, helping them to kind of process through some grief. And I also happened to include something about, that if there were any unresolved issues with that loved one, that you never got to say, I'm sorry, you never got to say, I love you, whatever it was, that allowing them to forgive themselves about that. And at the end of it, there was one lady sitting right on the front row, and she just broke into this grin like I had never seen. And I said, what just happened? And she said, you freed me. And I'm like, wow. She definitely had had something with her mom that she had not forgiven herself for. And it was like she just completely shifted right in front of us. It was the most amazing thing. So just know this is one of our tools in our toolbox and we got to use it.
And this is another synchronicity today, another synchronicity. I'm working on the pulling together the elements for the April the 5th, 2020 celebration of Jim's life celebration on April the 5th. And this would be a great tool to add to that celebration, is teaching the tapping method to those that are there.
Absolutely. Yes. Yes. Do it.
And for, you know, all of that. And again, in October, we will be doing a live celebration for my brother. So we'll be doing two live celebrations this year. That will be a decade that they've been away from the planet.
Wow. Well,
10-year decade.
I'm going to tell you, I'm starting to get unstable internet connection showing up again. So this may drop out. If it does, just know I'll come back, and we'll hope and pray that it doesn't keep going crazy.
All right.
I think it's truly the computer that's getting us difficulty. I'm on my hotspot right now.
Although I must add that there have been reported worldwide problems with this lagging and etc. and dropping off.
Okay. It may not be my computer. I don't know. I have no idea, but I do want to shift just a little bit. Darlene, you were kind enough to share with us a little bit. I shared this webpage with everybody last week, and this is the video that Don and I just created last week, right after we did this. This is the video we've created to share the healthcare co-op with people and be able to talk about our mission to create these residential entrepreneur incubators and being able to help with ending homelessness. So if you haven't seen what we did, please take a quick look, because it's at least a good example for everybody to follow. And this is part of learning how to communicate your heart song, communicate what you've been doing, and what your cause is all about, and why are you even selling any products? We're fundraising. So Darlene, did you want to share just a little bit? I know you didn't get as far as doing a video, but at least you had a nice write-up there today about what you want to put into a video. Willing to share?
Yeah, if I can get some way to get this to escape from mode here, full screen mode, and get to my write-up. Let me see if I can go back to my notes. I think this is the one that I posted. I said, here's my starting draft. Greetings from Darlene Hendricks Sartori. This is a quick video to share my vision and mission that tracks back to beginning when I was 6 years old in 1950 and seeing the horrible results of wartime destruction in the Philippine Islands, where my family went there to join up with my father, who was stationed there during in the U.S. military. The horrible conditions I saw stimulated me to begin a lifetime of asking why questions about why do human beings do horrible actions to ourselves, to other beings, and destroy property. The answers led to the solution being that we stimulate everyone to be sharing the same vision, to do the actions that create having paradise on earth and universal paradisical conditions. When everyone can have ideal conditions, where everyone can have ideal conditions in which to live. Seeking reality-based actions to connect with others with the same vision led my husband and me to begin, sorry about that, to begin, where was I at? Forming the Ideal Network projects where others already with the same vision could strut our stuff. Thus, the call to the action is to first join the Ideal Network at idealnetwork.biz, then attend internet and local meetups Information about these are shared with you via the email you used in the sign up process, because I was going to put a landing page on this. To email me, Darlene Sartori, directly, send email to Ideal Network Projects, that's plural, at gmail.com. In the subject line, type add me to POE meetup list. And POE stands for Paradise on Earth.
Yep.
That's where I got with the draft for doing the video, but I didn't get the video made, thanks to my service that I do throughout the community. And right now it started snowing here.
Oh my word, you can have it, dear.
One of my youngest great granddaughters with a funnel on her head, pretending to be a princess, I guess, because it says girl genius on her shirt.
Well, there you go. There you go. That's awesome. All right. Well, and you know, I encourage you to time yourself to see how long that video will end up being. You may want to trim it just a little bit. 2 to 3 minutes is about where you want to be, but you know, definitely good information in there. Definitely it's all about you and the song that you're singing for sure. Miss Kim, I don't know if you got as far as creating a video. Did you at least get to thinking about it?
Yes, thinking about it, but I've not put one together yet.
Oh, okay. Did you get as far as starting to write down some ideas for a script for a video, or where were you at?
Well, I have a couple of ideas. One of them was, I call it a commercial
Okay.
for weight loss, where more or less I use myself as an example rather than someone else, because other people may not be so, you know, I don't want to use someone else's name or anything, especially without permission, but
Right.
I feel I can use myself as an example. I got some medical issues at this time, you know, where I'm trying to find out what's happened with my weight loss and that. There's going to be a lot of background because there's a bunch of people out there in the kitchen, so I apologize for all the extra noise.
You're okay. I can hear you at least.
But with all the blood work and different things that I've had done, there's some sort of an adrenal thing going on where I have a hormonal problem where it has affected my metabolism, so it's not working correctly. It was not my thyroid. So I'm working on the medical part of it, and we just have to, I'm looking at maybe some products that I may try to use with longevity to help with that. Once I have a clear diagnosis of what they're saying, rather than taking another pill, I'm looking at trying to go that route. But I haven't really put one together because I was kind of waiting on yesterday's. I mean, because I just had more blood work done yesterday. I was thinking on waiting until I got a more definite answer this next week before I chose products.
Okay. All right. So you were kind of thinking about focusing on your weight loss journey, and you know, you did have some success early on with some of the products from longevity and such. And don't forget to include in that your story about, you know, what were some of the challenges that led you to the place of having, you know, the desire to lose some pounds. I mean, you know, I know you've been through a lot of different health challenges and emotional challenges and all those things. Those are all part of your story that if you're willing to share just a little bit about it, it will help people to be attracted to you who go, oh my God, she knows what I've been through. She's, you know, been down the same path as me. Now people become more attracted to you and wanting to work with you in their weight loss journey when they understand the story that brought you to where you are. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay, cool deal. Well, I'm still gonna ask you to try to work on that again for the coming week, because I really want to see everybody at least have experimented with the video. And you know, John had said something yesterday on our call about well, you know, you want it on YouTube, but I'm not sure I want everybody to see it. I said, well, that's fine. When you upload a video to YouTube, you can make it unlisted so that the public can't see it, and you can just give a link to us to be able to look at it. And then that way, you know, we can help give you some feedback, and you can have, you know, more than one shot at trying to do whatever it is you want to do without worrying that, oh my God, the world's looking at me and I don't know how I feel about that. So just know that when you upload, you can go to unlisted mode. It gives you that option right in the upload process. Okay?
Okay.
All right. And I see John and Tegan have joined us. So just trying to find out where everybody is at. Did you guys get as far as creating that video?
We're still working on it.
Do you have a script that you're working on?
It's in the makings. We're back and forth with it, trying to perfect it.
Well, you know, that's part of the whole process of being here as part of a team, is to let other people help you brainstorm it and give you some feedback as well. Are you willing to share what you're working with at the moment?
Well, I think the big issue we're having isn't so much the script. I think is that is, I guess, just the worry of doing it all.
So why would you worry about doing it? There's no right or wrong. You know that, right?
Yeah, because I mean, when we looked at yours, and yours looked, you know, really professional, and you know, it's professional, and you look at it, and I like it, you know, and I don't know if we'll have that effect.
Don't get caught up on that. And first of all, to me, when I even see the still of the preview or the thumbnail of the video, I think I look goofier in hell on that thumbnail. So I don't consider that to be perfect and all that professional in any way. Just know that, again, don't forget, you can upload this as unlisted, so nobody else can see it unless you give them a link. And this is more about practice, a practice in communicating what's important to you, what's your story, and what you're doing, more than worrying about being perfect. Nobody needs to even try to be perfect. I mean, Don and I have been doing these video podcasts since last September, October, I believe. And, you know, they were really uncomfortable at first. And, you know, we really had to just kind of push ourselves through doing them. But the more you do things, the easier it becomes. This is why that drape form that I gave you guys several weeks ago is so important, because there's some knowledge you can only gain through activity. There's some knowledge you can only gain by doing it. And so, you know, just if you flub the, and like I said yesterday, I don't know if you remember me saying this, but that video you're looking at with me and Don, we did that 4 or 5 times before we came up with one that I was even willing to release at all. If you'd seen the first 1 or 2, we were stepping all over each other. You know, I was forgetting my line. I was forgetting what I was supposed to be saying and when. And then, you know, it was like I'm sitting there waiting for him and he didn't know I was waiting for him. So we had to practice several times ourselves. And so, you know, we just practiced by creating the video. We only uploaded the one that you see. So,
Well, I think the camera loves you guys, but you know, but also I think an additional big fear factor is we got this meeting with Stanley Thursday, and it's like an event, and we wanted to share this, and then it was like, who gonna share it? You share it. No, I'm not sure. You share it. And I think it is like, you know, and that's like gonna be a crowd of people, and I think we're just really camera shy. We're afraid to get in front of people, afraid to, and I think all of it just is creating paranoia. And normally, like Tegan, she's well spoken. Me, I think I'm kind of spoken, but you know, I think we got an event coming up in a couple of days, and we have to maybe share this in front of people, and it's just, I don't know.
Who told you you have to share this with anybody? You do not have to share this with a living soul, other than I would appreciate it if you share with your team, because we're here to help and support. We're not here to judge and, you know, bash you. I mean, that's not it at all.
But we were looking at the business standpoint, and we really haven't. We haven't even snail paced it. We're not doing nothing. And I want to get the business off the ground because it is a good business. It does a lot of good. We see what it's doing to our lives, and we want to share it. But I don't know why we're having such a challenge, you know, doing this.
All right. Well, here's the thing. You guys were late coming to the call, and you will have the recording of this call when we get over with. You actually missed the most important part of this call for you guys, because I shared, and I'll see if I can share that screen again. You guys have this in the Skype account. You have, yes, you have this link in your Skype account. And I'm going to highly, highly encourage you guys to look at this event every day for the next, I don't know if it's another 9 or 10 days, I've lost count, but it's an 11-day event. And every day there are free videos that will tap you through specific issues. And I'm just going to show you real quick, because I already did quite a section on this and it's in there. But right now, there's videos in there from self-loathing to self-love, clearing the internal belief that you're not good enough. If you guys don't sit and work through that audio today and work through the tapping, I might have to come up there and kick you both in the butt personally, because this is the stuff. This is the stuff that's stopping you guys. Ignite your deserving energy, how to tap into the power of your heart, allow self-forgiveness, and create true feelings of self-worth. This is the stuff. And every day for the next 9 or 10 days, there's free videos, but each set of videos is only up for 24 hours. So you need to get into this, get the emails on it, and start tapping, because you need to release some of this stuff if you're going to move forward. Because if you can't even do a video just to share with us, not to share with any businesses out there, or to share with Stanley, if you can't even share with us, how are you ever going to get past that block? How are you ever going to move forward with these things you say you want to do? You have to do it by doing it. And we're here to be your cheerleaders through it. That's the whole purpose for this coaching program.
Yeah, and also this is the best environment to do it, because we can get corrective criticism. Out there, we're not going to get that. We're going to get ate up.
Exactly. And, you know, and again, we're not here to give criticism. We're here to help instruct, to help with continuous improvement, to help you to do better, because that's what we're here for. We're your personal cheerleaders. We're here to give love, not hate. So we're not haters. We're not going to hate on you guys. But you gotta at least be willing to step out there, even though, you know, feel the fear and do it anyway. But I'm begging you guys to go and do some of this tapping. It will help to shift some of that internal dialogue so that you can move through this stuff. Okay?
Okay.
All right. I mean, I get into a lot more detail of it in the recording that we are doing today. But you know, that's the whole thing. And just know that this web page that we've got here, that we put our video in, you know, you can see again, this is a prospecting tool for us. You know, and we focused on our mission to end homelessness. We focused on the healthcare co-op, you know, and people can put their information in here and they immediately go to a page where they can download the co-op brochure. Plus, we've got their contact information. So this is the iWebA tool that we've been utilizing for different things. And this is the web page that we sent to Leon Isaac Kennedy and told him, you know, if you'll share this link with people, they'll be able to understand what we're doing, why we're doing it, and they're going to learn a little bit about the co-op. So if he just shares this link for us, he is doing us the biggest favor on the planet. But if we didn't ever put this into video so that people could hear us, they can hear our heart, they can hear our authenticity, then it wouldn't do any good whatsoever. So that's the thing. A lot of times people don't necessarily, when they're just reading an email, it's hard to share your heart in an email. I mean, you can do it, but when you can speak on a video and people can hear you on a video, it becomes a lot more clear and people can understand a lot more about who you are and what your true motivations are. Because remember, the number one thing that is going on in our society is nobody trusts anybody anymore. Nobody trusts business people anymore. And this is, you know, when you can come through in a video with your authentic self and your authentic voice, you have the ability to overcome that. People can go, oh my God, I feel what they're talking about and I resonate with it. And I think they're people that I can trust. And so that's why we're encouraging you to step out of that little comfort zone. And, you know, this ain't even about being face to face with people. It's being face to face with yourselves and just trying to verbalize something on a camera. You did it when we were in Dallas, and I'm sorry, it really wasn't that much different. Yeah, we were there kind of conducting an interview, and if we have to do it in an interview format with you, we can do that. That's not a problem. We can use Zoom just like we did in Dallas sitting at that picnic table. We were all on Zoom together, and Darlene spoke, and you guys spoke, and we spoke, and it was fine. It was great. And the podcast was shared out through the Every.Black network. So you guys have already been visible to the world, and you survived it. So think about that. Right now, I'm going to cancel out this meeting, and I'm going to come back with the same meeting again, with the same link. I want to show you something about LinkedIn today before we close out today's session. So I'm going to close this because we're about to time out. And we'll let all this go.